Recording started. All right. Do you want to do the intro with the music?
Let's try it.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. All right. You're now listening to your favorite Major League Soccer podcast, the RSL Show with Andy, Alex, and Josh. Perfect.
Is that the Trey impersonation there?
Oh, wow.
It sounds very similar to when you impersonate Trey, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. Hey guys, we're trying out StreamYard, and it gives us like this whole little studio, and you can use like music in the background and all these things. It's kind of silly. Here, look, watch. I'll play another song to kind of like set the tone, you know. So if we had segments, right?
What you're really trying to say is we're going to get way more obnoxious.
Yeah. Real Salt Lake takes on LAFC in Carlos Vela. You're right, dude. That does sound like somebody we know. All right. Enough of that. We're not going to do that. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andy Munoz from the RSL Show, and we've got Alex Napolis. Alex, what's up, dude? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How's everyone? How's everything going?
We're going great. And hang on. We got the other guy, Joshua Clark. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hello, co-hosts.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing, man? What's today? Tuesday?
It
Good?
is. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Doing good.
Okay.
No one had caffeine today, apparently.
Dude, I'm so off, bro. When I got up earlier to that's what I was like. I checked the fridge for like an energy drink, and I'm like, nope, don't have one. But no, let's get into it. Let's bring the high energy. Real Salt Lake loses 0-3 at home versus LAFC, who seems to have our number, and they pretty much have it their way when they come here, and it's Highlight City, and Los Angeles Football Club, man. So what else can we say?
It's really disappointing when you've only won 2 games against a team.
Yeah, I mean, they spend money on players, we don't. It shows. That's the nitty gritty, man. Like, I don't even want to talk about this game, right? You guys are kind of feeling it too. Like, wow, same old same. Here we go again.
Yeah, you guys are
and then, the salaries come out today, and it just adds to the
bottom of the list, right?
It's really unfortunate that, because honestly, like, that first half, it wasn't that bad from RSL, despite a few defensive mistakes that obviously caused the goals. But before the second one even went in, there was so many opportunities to get in front or to tie it up, and we just couldn't. And it's disappointing.
Yeah, this whole like hanging in games but not finishing our chances thing, it's costing us, man. It's costing us points. We're getting, shut out at home. It's just not good, and I don't know where goals are going to come from against quality opponents, right? Sure, we scored 4 against Portland. We also conceded 4. What's the give and take there? And Portland's a poorer side, more on the the level of RSL. But when you're playing these top sides from the East and the West, dude, we're just getting run off the pitch. It's not even fair. This is just like watching, the top end of the EPL play the bottom half. It's just it's boring for us.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate because we were coming into this one feeling good, I guess, if you will, coming off the draws and 5 straight unbeaten. But
dude, I hate that spin, dude. I hate that spin. Such a dumb spin. It actually confused like some people online because it's like 5 unbeaten. Hold up. I mean, yeah, you factor in obviously Open Cup against that, and there's draws, but I don't know, man. It just feels like this club is just really good at spinning and twisting to make things sound positive, and it must be exhausting for whoever has to draw that up and then just kind of live by that and believe that. It's like, I don't even have a good analogy for it, but it's like you're just writing positive headlines as the asteroid is just shadowing the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And,
Like,
Bruce Willis isn't there to stop it.
ultimate destruction on the horizon. But it's our third sunny day, guys, since we spotted the asteroid coming. Yeah, I don't know, man. I new listeners of this podcast might be tuning in at the most horrible time of Real Salt Lake season, Real Salt Lake as I don't know, man. This is the roughest start to a season that I think we've had in a long time, because I don't remember having this type of like negativity, somberness, being this critical, this unmotivated to cover this club. And so if you're new here and all you think we do is just talk smack on this club, we're not trying to, but it's hard to get excited. Man, it's like a broken record, dude. It's like I feel like we're Van Halen on the back end of their career. Now we're just like doing the tour and playing the hits because we have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're only playing at Cabo Wabo restaurants and you know what I mean? Like
you're selling out Denny's.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to. I mean, there's glimpses of positivity, and there's, I don't think as a fan base, I don't think we're too hard to please. Everybody, like we covered before. You get a few Open Cup draws, score some bangers in the Open Cup. We're pretty happy, but when a club like LAFC comes to town and reminds you that yes, you're a 3-0 club versus the top tier talent, and you're nowhere near that caliber of play. You don't possess the stars. You don't have people who can finish. We're going to come and just keep embarrassing you at your home field. I think that's like that good reminder that we need. And I don't know what needs to change. Brian Dunseth on the commentary, man. He's obviously not taking jabs, but he's just stating the obvious. We don't have anybody that can finish. Plain and simple. We don't have anybody.
No, we haven't had anyone, right?
Yeah.
Cordova happened to put a handful away last year, but even with Cordova, we didn't have a clinical finisher. That's just the way it is. Like, you can argue with me till you're blue in the face, but you're going to be lying to yourself if you think Cordova was the guy, right? Euro was never the guy. Finley 2.0 was never the guy. Ortuño was never the guy, right? The list goes on and on. Bobby Wood wasn't the guy. Rubin's not the guy. I don't know who the guy is. I doubt we'll ever get one.
Okay.
I'm just bitter and salty at this moment.
So we'll be able to come back to this. I know, Alex, you'll have plenty to say about the subject, the topic, but I'm starting to think that it's weird, man. We let go of these players, right? And they start producing, and they're getting on the highlight reel. Miram gets a brace with Charlotte FC. Literally, second match with them?
His first.
I think, yeah, you're probably right. I'd have to double check. What the hell's going on here? Well, like, what's happening here? What
their
is it?
systems, right? The other players are going to systems that fit them better. That's one thing.
But we can't be so far off that these players come and they don't, they're not producing goals. I mean, granted, Miram assists, right? An assist machine, good with hold-up play, always, whipping the balls into the box. From my eyes, pretty valuable piece, but you break away and you go play with a club that you've trained with a few times and you're getting a brace. It's just like, what is it? What is it? We have talented players. We spent money, at least in one area, but where's the disconnect? Like, I am genuinely asking, what is going on, dude? We're one of the worst teams in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, it's baffling, honestly, right? You can always go back to the 9, the 6, whatever. We're still better than that. Like, I truly believe this roster isn't far off from a very good competitive roster. but I don't know how to fix what's going on now, right? Outside of the general consensus of throw money at the problem, which got to do anyway. But I don't know what else is wrong. I don't know if this is a systemic issue, if it's a locker room issue. I don't know. What do you think, Alex?
I mean, I'll say this about the locker room is these are guys who are going to play for each other no matter the circumstance. These are guys who are going to go out there and give their all for the guy that's lined up next to them in the starting 11, right? We saw that kind of mentality against Portland. You go down early, but they didn't give up. They fought back and was able to get that win, a super important win in Portland nonetheless. But I still feel like we're just not playing a system that's going to be playing the strengths of the players we have. We've talked about it a lot before, where Savarino, who has been a lot better in recent games, but at the start of the season, we just couldn't get him involved in the attack. I still think we're relying on someone like Damir Krylak, who it hurts to say, but I just don't know if he's that solution anymore. The system I feel like that we're trying to play and trying to do just doesn't play to the strengths of the players that we actually have. And it's something we've said time and time again. And I think teams just exploit that because they find the gaps. They find us not closing the lines. They find us those little room in between and behind the defense. And we're conceding a lot and we're not scoring enough. And it's just simple as that.
So criticism just kind of falling onto Pablo. I think that's kind of where it falls back on usually is what the consensus is at least online, is that either Pablo's tactics, and that's really what it comes down to, is like tactically, we've heard that he's a tactical genius. When the Houston came to town, head coach for Houston was like, yep, dude's gifted tactically. We hear it all the time from, people at the club. But it just kind of seems to always fall back onto Pablo. And it almost seems like the shift has gone from, issues at the FO and like the spend back to Pablo. Who's more to blame here in this scenario, do you think? Would you think that it comes down to coaching, or is it the FO? And, if one had to outweigh the other, like say 60-40, like where would we place it at?
This is hard because coaches have systems they want to play, right? When they get hired, they tell the management, this is what I'm looking to play. If that fits what you want to do here, great. If not, sayonara, right? I might decide to play what you want to play, but probably not. So I think when that happens, it's the FO's responsibility to get the coach players to fit said system. I feel like that's where that's broken down. We don't have the players Pablo needs to play the way Pablo wants to play, if that makes sense.
And I agree. I want to give Elliot the benefit of the doubt because Andres Gomez was such a gamble bringing it in for the club record fee, and it's paying off. So far it's working. I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But you go back a year ago to the Cuellar situation where we couldn't get him over the line, and that's a guy Pablo wanted. We get to the striker situation where time and time again, Pablo is asking the front office that he needs a striker. He wants a striker for this team. We bring in Cordova as kind of like a little bandage last year, but we don't do it. We don't bring him back this year, and we also don't really replace it. So while Elliot has done the positive of bringing Gomez this offseason, I also don't think he's done enough to give Pablo the supply to play the way he wants to play. And it's we've seen it before, like with Cuellar, we've seen it with the striker situation. It's kind of a pattern that we're seeing right now with RSL.
Yeah, it feels like if there's any big name linked, I guess big for RSL, right? Not within the league, not within the Blitzer umbrella group, but like a link that's a DP essentially, always seems to fall through. Whether there's actual flames, or it's just smoke, that nothing ever comes of it. And I've heard a few times it's because things were delayed, right, with negotiations, things like that. It comes down to deadline day, and we just don't finish the signing. Like I don't know if agents target us for that, which I'm sure happens a little bit. Maybe they've figured out that we're an easy target, and it just keeps happening to us, right? But that's something the front office needs to improve on. I would love to see us linked with a player and then have it happen in a reasonable amount of time or at all, right?
Yeah.
That's all I want at this point. I want to see us linked and signed, and someone that, isn't a nobody. I'm fine with nobodies from time to time, but you got to give us something proven soon, please.
Yeah, and we'll get into the salary spend, which MLS put out just today, actually. So we'll break down the salaries with Real Salt Lake, and we'll kind of circle in and see whether some of these salaries are justified or not. I kind of was browsing it as you guys were talking just now, and some seem pretty reasonable, but there's some that are a little questionable. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's especially on the salary side. It's tough to. I don't know. It's tough to say, hey, you performed well this year, so now here's your pay, and hey, now you suck, so we're gonna decrease you. Like it's.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to go over this team salary spend too, because it's all over the place, and it's actually quite interesting to look into.
Yeah, so we'll take a closer look. Alex, you look like you had something to say, dude. Got something?
I was just gonna say that at the same time, but we'll talk about it too later. But we have to, when we deep dive into these salaries, we got to take it with a little bit of a grain of not grain of salt, but I guess proceed with caution type deal, because there's so many rules in Major League Soccer that is why some of the players are where they are, because we need to be roster compliant because of the absurd amount of rules that Major League Soccer has as far as roster goes.
Yeah. It is public information as well too, but I don't know, something about just saying the actual numbers actually kind of makes me wince, and I feel grimy doing it. So maybe we'll kind of we won't say the exact number unless you guys want to. I don't know. I feel kind of grimy doing that. But
I'm more interested in talking about basically the low spenders and where at in the table, and the high spenders and where that at in the table. So that's what I kind of want to get into, not necessarily the numbers.
Yeah, we'll take a look. So before we jump into that, so just to kind of close out the last thoughts with the FO versus the coaching and all that, and where the blame may lie. Alex, you had something interesting happen in the presser that you texted us about when you were asking, hey, is this roster complete? Or, I guess you could explain it better, but there was a blatant difference in answering between Justin Glad and Pablo Mastroeni. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about that, dude, and then we'll kind of comment on it.
Yeah, so the post-game presser after the LAFC game, because of how many opportunities we had in the game, we asked Pablo in Spanish. We were like, hey, is a striker still a position that you need filled? Are you still looking for that striker? And he just straight up was like, yeah, we in the organization, we're looking, and we're really hoping to bring in someone in for the summer window because it's needed for this team, which we agree. We can all agree that that's true. But Justin Glad comes in after, and credit to Justin Glad for facing the media after such a tough, weird loss. But he came in, and I asked him the same question. I was like, hey, is the striker position we need filled? And he was like, no, I believe in the guys that we have now. I see them in practice every day. I know what they're capable of, and I believe in them 100%, which again, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier. This is a team that has a good mentality that's going to go out there and fight for the guy standing next to them in the starting 11. But at the same time, and as a player, you don't want to say anything negative about your teammates, right? Especially in front of the media. But I'm going to take Pablo's word on this one, because it's true. It's what we need in order to score those opportunities that we had against LAFC.
Yeah, I think Pablo was just Justin was giving the PR answer, right? That's the trained up answer from a guy that's been around.
I believe
guarantee that's not how he really feels, right? Especially as a center back, you're just watching, at the back of your net ripple, and it's hard to defend for an offense that isn't ticking. And same for an offense, it's hard for them to play for a defense that isn't ticking, right? So, in Justin's head, he's like, yeah, I would love it if they'd score more goals. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, props to him for giving the answer that doesn't upset anybody.
I understand we're handling sports and it's different, but what that kind of, I guess it's unfair to really say this, but I think it just has to be said, is that, it almost feels like they're not on the same page. Now, I know it's a big contrast between a defender and a head coach, but it makes you kind of wonder, what's the communication like when, they have team meetings. They're always meeting. They're meeting all the time, right? Whether it's like watching film or just meeting or, studying like their next opponent or reviewing like what happened in the last match. It just makes you wonder if things like that are said where, hey, we need help up here, but I don't know. Maybe it's not fair to say that there's a big disconnect. Maybe if it was like somebody like Elliot Fall saying what Justin said, and then, Pablo Mastroeni, saying something different. Lately, also Elliot Fall, I feel like attention's been kind of dragged away and no one's bringing up his name, which I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how we fluctuate as a fan base where it's like, it's so hard on Elliot Fall a few weeks and then it's like Pablo and then it's, I don't know. It's hard, man. It's like, who are we going after sometimes? Okay.
That's just being a passionate fan base, man. You just get mad.
When you're at a workplace and something isn't going right for you guys or whatever, people tend to get upset and they tend to start pointing fingers and blaming. And I think that's sometimes what people get caught up doing. They want to point fingers over here. They want to point fingers over there, but really look at the bigger picture and kind of see what's going on within a whole.
Yeah. Which isn't too exciting.
Yeah. Way to dampen the mood with that one, Alex.
Yeah.
Where we get
Listen, it's not always like this. When Real Salt Lake is winning and there's things to be excited about, promise you these episodes are much happier. But if you're a real fan and you care about this club, man, you're just concerned. You're just as concerned as us, and you're asking the questions, and you're hoping that the results change, and you're hoping that some results go in our favor, in our way. Because yeah, bad soccer. This is what you get, man. The media is not excited about you, and like we literally only cover Real Salt Lake. We don't cover anybody else. And so imagine being like a full-on, blown-on sports department where the soccer's not good. Well, they're going to cover everything else except for your team at this moment. So, yeah, I hope there's pressure felt. It's not to say that we're adding pressure or adding to the pressure. I don't think people really take us that seriously sometimes. After all, we are just a quote-unquote fan blog. But yeah, I hope they're feeling it over there, and I hope that they're at least having the discussion or, thinking of ways to get creative so that we don't suck. Plain and simple. Yeah,
let's talk about the MLS salary outlay now. Let's change the subject.
Talk up. Oh, do you guys want music? All right, let's try it. Hang on.
Yeah, try it.
The MLS salary brought to you by. Hey, if you want to sponsor the show, we could say your name right here. Just kidding. Dude, we haven't tried to look for sponsors in a minute. That's okay. We don't need sponsors.
KSL is problem now.
Yeah, it's true, man. All right, MLS salaries. All right, let's pull it up. Let's go down the list and let's break this puppy out, dude. Also, you know what's funny, man? Can you imagine if like companies just all over Salt Lake City were just like, hey, we're gonna release just all of our salaries, and they just threw it out here, and they're like, yeah, Andy Munoz gets paid this much. Oh, he's overpaid, bro. He is not valuable. And then it's like Alex Napolis, really underpaid. Joshua Clark brought in $2 million working at whatever. Okay.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be dope. All right, cool. 2023 MLS player salary is updated as of April 30th, 2023. I'm just going to, 2 weeks ago. And just made public knowledge. So, how do we want to do this? Do we just want to go down the list, or should we start from the most expensive to the least? Like, how do you guys want to break this down?
I think let's start with our biggest surprises on the list.
Biggest surprises on the list. All right. Here's one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what this would imply. We're still paying Yoni Menendez?
That is correct.
Yes.
Oh, God. All right.
Part of the loan.
500,000, dude.
And I don't think we're paying the entire, but yeah.
Yeah, 500. Yeah. I mean, it's
a failed signing, huh?
Yeah, I don't know where else. I mean, I don't know where we would go for the breakdowns on, gross versus net versus whatever percentages. Okay, here we go. Well, let's just do this. I'll just name some names and I'll name out the number, and then you guys tell me whether it's a decent salary, if they deserve more, if they deserve less. Okay. Our boy Diego Luna, the golden child, everybody's favorite. Which, by the way, I like the guy, but dude, come on, produce, bro. All right, 120,000 guaranteed compensation, $134,380. Is that number?
Are we doing the roster or the league?
Oh, I thought we were doing roster, bro.
Oh, I'm fine. I was looking at the league, so that's why I was just really confused. I'm sorry.
Okay, league, like what in terms of what, like different, like the actual spend of the clubs in total?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going down per rosters, but if you want to just go down teams, we could do that too.
Let's just say our biggest surprises with what team spends, right? So
okay. You know what? You drive, Josh. Go ahead. You drive.
You mean like Toronto FC in first place?
Well, we all kind of knew that, right, with Insigne, but I think my biggest surprise is St. Louis at second to last. And that just means they spent that money well. Let me tell you.
Well, and then if you look at how much money Berkey's making, too, compared to the rest of the team, that.
Well, how is he not a DP? You know what
I mean? Conspiracies. But it's good. Good on St. Louis. They invested in it. They invested it well. They're not doing bad. They're in a little bit of a rough stretch right now, but shout out St. Louis.
What's your biggest surprise, Alex? It's surprising. Go ahead.
It's quiet.
Yeah, what'd you say?
No, we're just thinking. No, we're just thinking, bro. No, it is surprising. Yeah, St. Louis, man, good on them. Good on them.
It's really interesting to see the teams near the top and how they're doing, in the league compared to their salary. You look at a team like LA Galaxy, who is underperforming this year. You look at Toronto, who's underperforming. Atlanta, who's entered a really tough stretch. DC United, who is among one of the top and amongst one of the lowest in the league as far as table standing goes. So it's really interesting to see kind of where teams are at.
Yeah, spending the money doesn't always guarantee results, right? We're over here harping on we need a goal scorer, a 6 or whatever. It doesn't mean we don't want them to spend money, but we don't necessarily want them to be at the top either. It doesn't always translate, and we get that. But right now I feel like we're not investing in the right part of the squad. So
yeah, and there's a big difference between spending and investing. I feel like in the case of MLS rosters, LAFC, who are the middle of the pack as far as spending goes, but they've invested really, really well. They've brought in really good players, really talented players. They've invested that money fantastically. DC United, Toronto, that could be a team that is just spending to try to be competitive, but it's not investing it into the right areas. I think they've put a lot into a team like Toronto, for example. They put a lot into their DPs and their attack with Bernardeschi, with Insigne, but their defense is really what's causing all this issue. They didn't really invest that money.
Repeat that last part, bro. We had some internet issues. So repeat that last part. Your last sentence.
What part? The defenders. The defenders are the issue. I feel like defensively, Toronto is defensively, they need to invest into that defensively rather than bringing in all these lucrative DP players.
Yeah, they got to spread it across the spine instead of all at the very top, right? Christmas tree is a little imbalanced.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm online just trying to find this list, bro. I am trying to find, because I see, okay, here's what I see. Top 5 salary spends in MLS. All right, I was just trying to see the middle of the pool. And all right, Yeah, you've got
Check our
Toronto,
group
like
chat
just like
from
we
2
said.
hours ago.
Are you guys having internet issues? Because I don't know what's happening.
No. 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 All right. Josh Clark just sending message. Private chats in here. All right. No, top 5 salary spends in MLS and then the bottom 5. Okay, I know you guys just kind of just went over this. But if you guys want to know the numbers, so Toronto FC at 25.7 mil, LA Galaxy at 23.5 mil, Atlanta United 21.3 mil, DC United 20 mil, Austin 19.9 mil. And to your guys' points, the majority of the clubs in the top 5 not doing that great. Bottom 5, CF Montreal 10.5 million spent. St. Louis City 10.9 mil. New York Red Bulls 11.2 mil. Orlando City 11.2 mil. And then I guess this is going up from 29th up to 25, where Real Salt Lake is at 12.2 million. So what does this tell us? Is it actually money that is going to bring us results?
No, it's the investing. I feel like most, if not a lot of our salaries are going towards youth players. It's investing for the future, but it's not really investing towards the now, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's kind of where
I would be
it.
totally fine if they went and signed a Gomez type striker, right? A young kid, a decent transfer fee, but was performing well and has all of the traits that can transfer. I know that's not an easy thing to find, but that I would rather see that than some 35-year-old dude from the Bundesliga or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We'll see that young guy that we can resell later on, but he can perform while he's here.
So, I mean, you guys are kind of saying things that are a little different from, what's been asked for, right? We want somebody to come in that could be tenured or at least a talent, but now it's almost like we've shifted to, okay, well, if we invest in the young talent, that just kind of screams rebuild.
Well, I mean, you can invest in a 22-year-old that's proven. That's not horribly young, right? There's a under 21 initiative. No, U22.
U22.
Yeah. So you can still go find a guy that's been playing and proving himself for 3 years, 4 years in a league, right? And still invest and resell later. It just makes more sense to spend a couple million on a guy that has a high upside and cash that upside in than buy someone that's on his way out, like a Chicharito.
Yeah, and I'd much rather go for someone like Andres Gomez compared to someone who a Shaqiri, for example,
right?
A DP who was brought in to be a DP, to be a star player, and just hasn't really lived up to that billing. I would much rather, in that situation, have a Gomez. But I think really what RSL need is to target the 22 to 27-year-olds that are in Europe looking for a club, looking for playing time, who have been proven to be that scorer, and they can fit easily a DP slot.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think I don't know, man. Maybe it's not as transparent or as easy as we might think. I mean, how many times have you just heard people just bitch about it on Twitter, including us, but not bring actual options to the table? Because I don't see any people tweeting or saying, "Hey, here's this player available who who has scored this much and has this many assists and maybe not playing, and they're at this club." Not that not that would actually influence a decision, but I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's just too deep.
I mean, I've seen it, but my problem with that theory is damn near everyone else figures out how to do it. You know what I mean? Does that mean we need to invest more in our scouting department? Does that mean we need to cast a wider net in where we look for players, right? Do we need to not just be looking in South America, right? Do we need to be scouting the Blitzer umbrella group networks more aggressively? There's so many things that go into that, but to say that like they are struggling to identify players, I don't know. Like that's their jobs, right? So I don't know. I think it's just, are you willing to spend the money and make the investment? Or are you looking for the needle in the haystack, the golden goose? Like, well, what's the approach? And part of the reason I don't think you don't see a lot of fans like, hey, sign this guy. So everyone's just gonna like, hey, sign Messi, right? But also we don't know what the budget is. We don't know what the spend is. There's nothing to really go off of, right? Like right now, if I were to look at guys that RSL could sign, I'd be looking under free transfer because that's historically what it is. So that's really where I think the fans are hung up on looking on transfer market and seeing what's out there. And also we're fans, so we're idiots.
Yeah.
I love that you bring that up, Josh, and sorry to interrupt, Andy, but
that we're idiots. Yes, of course.
No.
Hey, by the way, Josh, leave Chicharito out of this, bro.
I was wondering if you caught that.
I did, man. Late, bro. If you're watching this on YouTube, you would have seen my expression. All right, go ahead, Alex.
I want to bring up the case of Veni Bouanga, who we just played against and scored a screamer against RSL this past weekend. Bouanga was a guy who was kind of team surfing in second division France, looking for his opportunity, looking for a team, looking for playing minutes. LAFC didn't really bring him in on that bad of a budget. I think it would just cost a little under $6 million, which Gomez was for, right? And look at what Bouanga has produced for LAFC now to this point. It doesn't need to be, the youngest. It doesn't need to be the biggest name. It doesn't need to be the flashiest. But all credit to LAFC scouting department for going out, finding Bouanga, who was in a tough situation where he needed minutes. He needed a team, bringing him in, and now he's arguably the best striker in the league at the moment.
And a freaking
MVP right now.
Seamless replacement, like complimentary, to Carlos Vela, just like Chicho Arango was, except on steroids, right? So, yeah, you're right, man. It can be done. You just need a competent, what's the word, bro? Come on.
Recruitment.
Yeah. I was going to say recruiter, whatever. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? We're just going to continue to pull. I mean, the reality is even if there is somebody out there like that, we're just going to keep continuing to pull from the Blitzer group. I don't think we're going to be going outside of that much in terms of signings that could actually have an impact that are somewhat pricey. Well, that would be pricey. Otherwise, we pull them over here and, get a better deal. So yeah, hopefully it'll change, man. I want to party and I want to have fun and I want to eat tacos at the tailgate and I want to rip my shirt off, bro, and like swing it over my head because we go 4-0 on like Colorado Rapids. You know what I mean? I want to have fun. We all want to have fun because you know what? If a brand new shiny club from the world's most beautiful city comes along and they just try, it's probably not going to take much to appeal to some fans who might want to support a new club in Major League Soccer, right, Josh? No? Okay. All right. So the news is out. Whether it's like super mega confirmed, we're not sure. Right now, it's just kind of hitting all angles from kind of maybe credible sources.
Well, Garber now has a meeting with the mayor that's public. Like an announcement, not a meeting, but announcement. So it's done.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah,
all right.
Sportico reported it earlier today too, and they're pretty up there.
Very cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've been like half in, half out the door on Twitter today. So yeah, San Diego will be getting a club, Major League Soccer. I honestly didn't think this day would come, dude. I mean, we've always talked about it on this podcast that would just make sense. But if you listen to the podcast prior, we literally were like, nah, Las Vegas would get a team way before San Diego would. And we actually had a discussion leading up to this because we were, talking about what that would look like for the Hispanic populace that is near San Diego, because you can go through the border and like pretty quickly, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you're in San Diego catching MLS games, or you're doing quick friendlies with Tijuana Cholos, or, clubs that will visit and play in San Diego because they've played there a lot. They have a lot of Mexican team friendlies there. So I'm pretty pumped. I tweeted this earlier today. I don't want a San Diego SC. I don't want a San Diego FC. I don't want a San Diego United. I don't want
Sporting San Diego.
Yeah, that'd be gross. I mean, I really hope that whole city, when they want to be, depending who's running it, full of creative people. I mean, you saw what the soccer community did with San Diego Loyal. You know what I mean? Just sweet culture. Embrace the Hispanic Latino community out there. Was really about the city. They have such a good culture out there. It's crazy. It's insane for a USL team. So you would hope that they would mimic that with San Diego, just bring a better product. Will it be a club that's like heavy swinger, going to try to compete with LAFC? We don't know. Or will it just be kind of another Western Conference team that kind of hangs out mid-tier, does well, underperforms, kind of like the Earthquakes or Rapids or Real Salt Lake. You never know. When LAFC came, I remember, I mean, the way they marketed that, dude, like, you just knew that there was like something in the air and that they were going to do some really cool stuff.
A masterclass.
Yeah. So I think a lot will, I should be really stoked. I've always made the joke that as soon as San Diego got a team, like, I'm out of here, vamoose, bye. But great, you're getting a team, but how are you going to run the team? How are you going to market the team? How competitive is this team going to be, right? So that's when I'll get excited, as somebody who was born in San Diego and lived there also like the majority of my 20s, love that place, have undying love for it. I'm still like, okay, like, if it's cool, great. If it's not cool, it's tough. So yeah, damn. That's crazy, man. The day's here. It's nuts.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't San Diego, but
Vegas.
I know California is populous and can handle teams, but it's just funner to see, places you wouldn't really think of get teams, right? Like, I know Phoenix has some teams, but Phoenix would have been cool. Vegas, just some other places to kind of change it up a bit, right? Not follow the NFL, NBA model of just using the same cities. So, I mean, it is what it is. I hope they do it cool like the Loyal, because if they do that, then I'm going to be following them closely because, I love their branding and their culture, like Andy said. But it could also go sideways, right? Like, we've seen some of these new teams come in and you don't know what they're doing marketing-wise, logo-wise, right? So let's hope it's not that. Let's hope it's pretty dope.
They were somebody who tweeted. It's funny because like a lot of people from San Diego are tweeting it, but like somebody tweeted like Chivas de San Diego, like just already busting out the Chivas jokes.
Club Deportivo San Diego.
Oh my God, that'd be so sick, dude. Club Deportivo. Wow. That'd be dope.
That would be dope, actually.
That would be dope.
I'm actually for that.
Yeah, the Chivas jokes would never end though.
Yeah, full on just Spanish. Hey, it's good for it. Like, if you've never been to San Diego, it's Old Town. Like, there's Old Town San Diego. There's a lot of Spanish culture there, like real actual Spanish culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's filled. Like, street names are named after Spanish people.
Let's give them Real, and we can rename our team.
God, Lord, no, man.
That's what we're gonna do.
That name is unlucky. I will say this: there's no chance in hell that this would happen, bro. But if can you imagine the Galaxy, bro, go to San Diego? Because like, what's gonna happen with the Galaxy?
Oh, they're in trouble.
San Diego, literally. If you're watching this on YouTube, here's San Diego, and then here's Carson, and then here's LA, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's just so close. But the thing is, here's the thing that I'll say about California, especially Southern California. If you're from LA, you live and die by LA. If you're from San Diego, you live and die by San Diego. Like, look at the Padres and the Dodgers, right? But also what's unique too is like the Chargers left San Diego to go play in Los Angeles, and a lot of LA people adapted the Chargers, and San Diego they support the Chargers, right? I still support the Chargers. Like I love all sports, San Diego, love the Padres, all that stuff. So it's weird, man. It's an interesting dynamic down there, but they got to learn how to keep the team, and there's going to have to be some serious spend to appeal. Like it's going to matter where they build the stadium. When I think of downtown, there's not a lot of space downtown in San Diego. So my thought is like the Mission Valley area, which for context it's just as far from like downtown as Harriman would be. But it's also, Mission Valley is also really central. So I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways. Who knows? Exciting stuff, man. The league is growing. I just hope they do it right, dude. Got to do it right by San Diego for sure.
I love that you bring up the Galaxy, because this could potentially be the end of the Galaxy's, like the end of the Galaxy. Look at DC United, who is arguably the most successful team in this league up until about 10-ish, 15-ish years ago, and then they won those 5 MLS Cups, and they haven't really done anything since.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see the Galaxy heading down that same path.
Yep. Andy, for real quick, they're going to start play at the 35,000 capacity Mission Valley Stadium.
Oh, Mission Valley. Wow, dude. Hit it on the nail, bro.
That's the San Diego stadium.
San Diego State University?
Yeah, the Aztecs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. Yeah. No, it's a great place, man. It's a beautiful place, dude. And it's going to be great for soccer. And that's like, actually, listen, I'm probably biased here, but I will tell you, if you've only been to Los Angeles, unfortunately, in California, and you think that that's all of California, it's not. San Diego, 100,000 million times better, dude. Like, it's a paradise, bro. I'm not even just saying that because I'm from there. It's actually beautiful. Like, catch an away game there, it's going to be amazing. That'll be cool, man. Dang, dude. Oh, can you imagine if they open up the meeting? They're like, all right, hey, guys, San Diego Galaxy.
Bro. I'm pretty sure there'd be rumors about that. Like, that wouldn't happen quietly, I don't think.
Nah, I would actually like that. I don't know why. I love when teams just take a spin for underdog, like the Galaxy, but also the other factors like Chicharito's there, obviously. But I like underdog, except for when it's Real Salt Lake. Just, remove the under, their dog, and then just add the word crap on there. Cool. Guys, there's so much going on right now. Interesting, fun things around the league. Major League Soccer. If you guys haven't seen, there's like all these incentives to join up with Apple TV, get a free month or get a free year. There's all kinds of promotions. And all of the product that they're putting out on the Apple TV application is actually pretty good. I'm not opposed. And obviously you can still catch matches like on Fox every now and then. But let's just talk about the upcoming schedule of Real Salt Lake. We'll include the Open Cup matches. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And actually, while we're doing that, let's play some music here real quick. Here we go. Okay.
This is some real like Napoleon Dynamite prom music.
Right? Yeah, it's great, dude. Okay. All right, here we go. Should we just... All right, over the music. Let's do it. All right. Real Salt Lake taking on the Colorado Rapids. May 20th. Let's go ahead and preview that match. Let's look at where they... Okay, Alex, please stop. Please stop bobbing your head, bro. All right. Colorado Rapids, May 20th. And I'm actually just kind of... No. Yes. No. Yes, that's right. Is that right? Dude, I'm so out of it, guys. Let's take a look here.
We got 2 games.
Back to back, Colorado.
The Rapids.
I'm talking about the one tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Portland. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Is that the Open Cup match, yeah?
No, yeah. League game.
Nope, league
game here.
Dude, my internet is failing me big time, bro. I don't know why I'm off today, man. It's just crazy. Let's take a look.
Full moon?
It is. I think it is a full moon. You're right. What the hell, dude? That gave me a schedule from whatever. Okay, here we are. All right, guys. Yeah, Real Salt Lake. Portland Timbers at Real Salt Lake. 7:30 p.m. America First Field.
It'll be interesting to see how we decide to line up for that one, especially after what just happened in Portland.
Yeah, I hope it's another 4-3 game. Honestly, that was fun. It was a good time.
It was very fun.
I don't know, man. League play, right? Dude, I'm confused, bro. When does the Open Cup kick up for us again? I don't even...
Next Wednesday.
Do we still care about Open Cup?
Yes, yeah. That's all I care about right now. Then the Rocky Mountain Cup. It's the only 2 things we can win now.
Oh, man.
And Colorado looked good. That's the scary part. So I'm nervous.
Yeah. I'm just, man, wow. It's this caffeine thing, bro. I think it was sitting in traffic for an hour just deflated me, bro. Traffic is horrible.
Trying to rush. Yeah,
traffic here in Utah is bad, bro.
Apologies for the low energy show, everybody.
Yeah, we sound like all your other favorite RSL podcasts right now. Let's see. So Portland Timbers at Real Salt Lake, excluding El Show RSL. We love El Show RSL. By the way, they have the best content, dude, in Spanish. Bro, if you don't know Spanish, I suggest you learn Spanish so you can go check that show out.
At Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Say something in Spanish real quick for everybody. No bad words. I already know what you're going to say.
I don't even know, dude.
Just say the line, bro. If you're lost in Mexico, what do you say?
No idea.
If you're having an emergency, what do you say in Mexico? ¿Dónde
está? El baño?
Yeah, dude. That's the one. Guys,
gotta go to the bathroom. That's the emergency.
All right. Okay, listen. Portland Timbers, Real Salt Lake. It's happening tomorrow. This show will be out. Let's just preview. Let's just look at what these guys are going to offer and how we may respond. All right. So let's just kind of compare our wins, losses, and draws. Real Salt Lake going in 3-6-2. Not the best start, rocky start, but we went 5 unbeaten. Look at us. We're so good. Portland Timbers, 4-5-3. So it's not a huge contrast. That's one more win, one less win, and one more draw than Real Salt Lake. Okay. I think to you guys' point, just kind of going back and forth like we did with them prior. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the roster's just we should have a stronger roster if we're going to kind of pull out for league play now.
No, we would have a lighter roster for the Portland game, and honestly, we wouldn't because we still have Colorado in league play on Saturday, and then Colorado again on Wednesday in Open Cup. So I hope to see a fairly strong lineup for Portland, right? The best lineup possible for Saturday, and then again the best lineup possible for Wednesday, because I don't want to lose either of these games to Colorado. They don't deserve to have that over us right now. So, yeah, I think we just got to go, pedal to the metal for the next 3 games.
I think right now is a really pivotal time, because you really start to see where teams are gonna go and land on the table at the end of the year, kind of by looking at the table now. I think it's really pivotal that RSL starts wrapping up some points at home. It's been such a disappointing start to a team who's historically been so good at home. And Portland is the big opportunity to kind of bounce back, regain that confidence, and start getting some really, really important points at home. So go all in on Portland, possibly rotate on the weekend in the first one against Colorado, and then go all in on Colorado. You're in the last 16 of the U.S. Open Cup. This is the chance for CONCACAF. We talked about it last time. Go all in on Colorado. It's go all in on the Cup. Go all in on Open Cup. If we win Open Cup, I think that'll help out a lot as far as where this fan base is. Go all in on Colorado and Portland, and then on the weekend just kind of rotate.
Yeah, let's get that silver where we can get, right? Exactly. And you don't even have to rotate that hard against Saturday, I don't think, right? Like 1 or 2 guys, maybe. Because it is a 3-game week, but it's not a terrible ask. I don't think, travel's not far. You have a home game in there. So I think we got to go as hard as we can the next 3, because that's 6 points in the league we can pick up and advancing to the, the top 8. So I see no reason to really heavily rotate the next 3 matches.
And even if they do decide to rotate, I don't mean start the Monarchs over the weekend, right? I think fairly our rotated team against Portland did a lot better than I thought they would. Michael Chang, obviously with the brace and the goals, played a good game. Emeka and Nelly looks fantastic in the midfield. Mm-hmm. Just kind of rotations like that, a similar one to what we saw in Portland in the last round of the Open Cup, I would be okay with against Colorado on Saturday. But then go all in on Wednesday. Go for the Open Cup.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with that kind of thing on Saturday as well. I was more with the don't play the Monarchs, like the entire squad, right? Like, you got to have that healthy mix, because if you want this fan base to turn on you even quicker, it's losses against Colorado. Period.
Well, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not yet, but I do believe that the team is staying the whole time in Colorado. They're not traveling back. I know Delmy. Yeah, I know. I know Delmy mentioned it to us, and even if they stay, we'll see that rotation that we saw against Portland, because they'll already have those guys there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm all about it.
It's actually good. Yeah, stay the days. Stay the days in Colorado. Man, sounds like torture, bro. Hey, Portland Timbers. Oh my gosh, by the way, whoever was running the stream, bro, whoever was commenting on the YouTube stream, you guys were insane, bro. You guys were saying some things that could have gone the RSL show fired, man. I don't know who that is. We don't know who that was. But they were pissing a lot of people off from Portland on the YouTube stream. Whoever that was. Anyways, there was Josh, for context, I don't know. I just heard because I wasn't doing it. So there's a stream comment, because the Open Cup games are on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Somebody from the RSL show, we don't know who it was basically chirping the whole game at the Portland fan base, saying how Seattle was way better, how Seattle Sounders own the Northwest, how Seattle's just a cleaner, safer city, how there's no crime in Seattle compared to Portland, how there's no human feces. Okay, anyways, all right. And a lot of people from Portland just were not having it. So I got a text from somebody, and they were like, "Yo, whoever's commenting on RSL show is going nuts right now." And I was like, "Dude, I have no idea who that is. Could be someone, I don't know." Anyways, the Portland Timbers fan base, from what I heard, are very, very soft.
Extremely.
Super soft. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the Timbers real quick, though. In their last 5 regular league stretch games, here are the results. Portland beat the Seattle Sounders. Must have been a lucky win, 4-1. Okay. And then they they played FC Cincinnati, lost 1-2 to FC Cincinnati.
Who's very good. Yeah, they're very good.
Okay. St. Louis. They played St. Louis on the 29th of April. 2-1. Okay, it's fine. Drew against Austin on May 6th, 2-2. And then they beat the Vancouver Whitecaps 3-1. So, in their last 5, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So they, unbeaten 3 out of the 5. Actually, 4 out of the 5. Actual real stats that matter. Unbeaten 4 out of the 5. If you look at Real Salt Lake regular league, you can't say that, right? So, it's a team with momentum, man. I see a team with momentum coming to our stadium. Historically, I think it's always been battles between the Timbers and Real Salt Lake. Sometimes we get ahead of them. Sometimes we don't, right? It's just, that's how it goes. But I just feel like an Espria bicycle kick late is going to go in.
It's not October.
Yeah, that's right.
It only happens in October.
Mr. October. Let's just go into predictions real quick, man. Just with everything we've taken into account, and then we'll let you guys go. We'll let everybody go. Do we get a result at home? I'm going to go first. I'm just going to say Real Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake 2-1 for us. And the goal is going to come from, if he plays, Yakison. He's going to get us first.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going 3-2.
4?
RSL.
Interesting.
I want to say Portland, but, I'm not one of those negative fans anymore. But I think we see a Sava goal. I think we see a Glad goal. And I think we see a Gomez goal.
Ooh, dude. Okay. Which, by the way, man, that Gomez Open Cup goal, dude.
Beauty.
Insane,
Beauty.
Man. Insane. Granted, it was just against, some little kid, but still, it was amazing. Alex? If you say 6-0, you're fired, bro.
No. I agree that this is a different Portland than what started the season. They're on the up and up. They're doing a lot better, but I still think they're too inconsistent defensively. I still think they're too inconsistent on the road. They don't have that yet, and so I like our chances here at home. I'm going 3-1 RSL just to be different from Josh, because I was going to go 3-2, but I'll say 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. General consensus: Real Salt Lake dub. Guys, thanks for listening to us on the KSL Sports Network, at RSL Show on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us for all the latest Real Salt Lake news. I'm Andy, that's Alex, and that's Josh. We'll see you guys on the next episode, and maybe we'll see you at the stadium. Dude, I think I'm going to go to the game. You guys going to the game? No?
You have to work.
Okay. Alex, you're going?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, man, I feel like whipping out the old camera, bro, getting some cool highlights, dude. Maybe I'll go do that. I don't know.
Go back to your roots, Andy. Go back to your roots and get some shots.
Yeah, midweek match, dude, right after work that's kind of hard, but we'll see. It'll be fun, man. Should be fun. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for keeping it here, and we will see you guys later.